Hello, xin chào. My name is Kenny. Welcome to Learn Vietnamese with Kenny. Học tiếng Việt với Kenny. Okay? Today we're going to learn Vietnamese tones. The Vietnamese language is very complex because it's a tonal language. It is composed of 6 tones. Let's begin. The first tone is called the level tone in English. In Vietnamese, they call it dấu ngang, come dấu. In order to pronounce this tone, one must be able to keep their voice flat. For example, ma, which means ghost. As long as you keep your voice in a flat pitch, you pronounce it excellently. In the next tone, we call it dấu sa. In English, this translates to the rising tone. In order to pronounce this tone correctly, you're going to have you raise your voice a little bit higher, just a little bit higher. For example, ma, which means mother. And if you simply raise your voice a little higher, you have pronounced this tone well. The next tone is called dấu hỏi. In English, it simply translates to falling rising tone. In order to pronounce this tone, you're going to have to drop your voice, go a little down, and you got to raise it back up. For example, let's look at the board. The word ma, which means tomb, okay? Ma. There you go. Before we proceed with the next tone, I am going to be using the Hanoi accent from the north in these videos. Excellent. The next tone we have is called dấu huyền. In English, it simply translates to the falling tone. In order to pronounce this tone correctly, all one has to do is just lower their voice a little bit. Just lower their voice. For example, ma, and that means witch in English. That's all you have to do. Our next tone is called dấu ngã. In English, that would translate to simply the higher rising tone. In order to pronounce this tone, it's very unique. In other words, you are going to have to go down, go up, and go down again with your voice. For example, mã, which means horse. Mã. And that's how you pronounce this tone. But this is one special feature which I want to emphasize in the video. In the north, like in Hanoi and Haiphong, they stress dấu ngã whenever they speak. On the contrary, in the south, like Ho Chi Minh City, they tend to not emphasize the dấu ngã, but they prefer to use the dấu hỏi in their speech when they're speaking with other people. And finally, we have arrived at our last tone. It is simply called dấu nặng. In English, this means the low falling tone. In order to pronounce this tone correctly, you only have to lower your voice quickly and briefly. For example, the word ma, it means rice seedling. And there are the 6 tones to the Vietnamese language. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned and please subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for the next episode.